Hello, everyone, and welcome to the unfortunately final episode of the Mystery Cast.
Obviously, this calls for murder.
No, not
No.
quite, but
Bill, did you possess Treebeard's body again?
I don't believe
Yell.
it. God.
Shit.
Anyway,
Let that erase your gun. It erases the memory.
no, don't do
And
that. We
I'll
need our
recover it 3
tribute.
minutes later. It's fine. He'll get his memory back. 3
Nah,
minutes
I
later.
wouldn't want to erase Treebeard's memory because he'd forget about Teen Titans Go, and that would be, that'd be too
Oh
bad.
yeah, no, that's a treatment that we can't spare.
Absolutely not. Yes. But, anyways.
Anyways, I'm still our host, even though I'm getting trampled over like always. TG, and joining me, like always, is Greg Diggity Dagdog.
Hey there, I'm the asshole who dresses up like Dipper, who you probably saw this week if you're new to the channel. So hi, I'm here.
Yeah, he is. Also joining me is Treebeard.
I'm the guy that bitched about that superhero series that's really shitty.
Yay! Also joining us is Duster Dawnhorse.
I drew all the monsters that were in our Gravity Falls videos. Yay! And designed a few.
And finally, Scott. He's just Scott.
The mailbox of infinite knowledge is going to retire after this episode.
We haven't checked the
No!
mailbox in a while, by the way.
Whatever happened?
Did we start to back up? Is the post office taking our mail? How does that work?
No, the mailbox just vanished one time, so they stopped sending our mail to us.
I
We-
see.
I'm wondering, is just the
Anyway.
mailbox covered in those, like, we missed your
The
signature
postage office.
notices that you can't even tell it's a mailbox anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
The
So,
mailbox the being behind the mailbox can't even write the signature because your feeble minds wouldn't understand it and would explode the moment you saw it.
yeah, so, this was the finale. We had a 2-part episode, kind of. It was really just an hour-long episode with, like, 2 frames of a cryptogram in the middle.
And when we say finale, we don't mean like a pony finale where you just wait a year and it comes back. We're
It's
done.
gone.
This
Yeah.
is
And
serious
it's a
finale.
shame.
Gravity Falls is over, and it is a shame, but
We respect Alex Hirsch's decision to end it.
Yeah,
And it
we
probably is a
yeah,
good one.
and
I respect his decision, but at the same time,
You can still be sad about it. You
Yeah.
know,
You can be
still
sad about it,
respect
but I
and
don't
be
think it
sad
was even
about
a
it. Yeah.
decision. I think it was just built
No,
that
that
way
was
from the
his
beginning.
choice.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
his choice.
I mean, that's still a decision. It was his decision to write it to be this long.
Right. And to
Like-
be fair, before people, start commenting and going, well, it's not over yet, I mean, he has said before that he intends to possibly come back to these characters in the future. It's just going to be in a different story, in a different setting, at a different time. So
This story is
yeah.
over.
This story is over. The saga of the summer of 2012 and Gravity Falls has come to an end. But we're not done, possibly, with Dipper, Mabel, and the Grunkles and everyone else, so, we'll
Yeah,
see.
I mean, they survived Weird Apocalypse. They could probably survive in Oakland.
Yeah, no, that's where they're from.
It's probably more
That's a
weird
whole
than
other
Gravity
adventure.
Falls. Like,
I know. I was about to.
Want to
I was
leave.
actually going to do for my intro, like, which is worse, Weird Apocalypse or going home to Oakland?
So, now that we've seen the finale, it's time we talk about it. Man, it's gonna be weird not doing this anymore for the show. So, let's just keep the tradition rolling. And hey, Greg, why don't you start us off?
okay. I was pretty darn satisfied with this finale. I think, we'll talk about the series as a whole later. I was gonna do a quick brief mention of how much I love this series, but yeah, are we gonna leave that till later? Are we all good with that?
Yeah, we'll go over the whole series after we
Alright.
cover the finale.
But yeah, the final part of Weirdmageddon. Yeah, overall I was very pleased. We had a lot of fun moments. This show has been a lot of fun, and just everything from all the reoccurring, jokes to, McGucket building this giant Shaq robot. And,
Shaq robot, Shaq robot,
Shaq robot. And,
Shaq robot, Shaq robot.
And one of my personal favorites, which I missed the first time, but obviously we saw that Blubs and the other cop's romance was confirmed. I completely forgot his name. It's something with a D. Durland. It's Durland. Yeah, so that romance was confirmed, and I missed this the first time, but it was so subtle and so clever. When the twins are having their birthday party, they show the two cops together holding hands, and they fire off a cannon. They are saying the romance is canon.
Oh!
Isn't it brilliant? I didn't notice it the first time, but on the second
oh my
third watch
god, I
through,
want to punch Alex Hirsch and at the same time congratulate him.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
it was pretty great, and yeah, a ton of other silly moments too. Bill Cipher playing the piano. Oh my god, I was laughing so hard.
With a martini glass of wine for whatever reason.
And Bill's got quite a nice voice, better than Kanye for sure. Anything's better than Kanye, though. Yeah, and just jokes were all there, but at the same time, oh man, the feels were all over the place, and I wouldn't say I ever got to the point of crying, but if you watched my react, you could definitely tell by the end I was choked up, and it was just a really overall happy ending. I think, a lot of people were expecting tragedy to strike in this episode. We've talked a lot about how we thought someone was going to die, and it's been rumored for a long time through both just, analysts and analyzing the episodes and through the cryptograms that one of the Pines was most likely going to die, and you could possibly argue that Grunkle Stan, quote-unquote, died when his memory got erased, but yeah, I don't know about that. I think that's kind of a stretch. But I was really happy that, we just got a really happy ending, and it was all so sweet seeing Sue skip a Mystery Shack, and when Dipper and Wendy exchanged hats. Like, there's so many sweet moments in those final 10 minutes, just seeing everyone's plot lines getting, I don't know, everything was pretty much resolved outside of maybe Blendon, but, McGucket got his, finally got his comeuppance, he got his wealth. I don't know if comeuppance is the right word to use, but, yeah, there was just so many sweet moments at the end, and I was really pleased with that, I know, again, a lot of people expected a sad ending, but sometimes a happy ending is good, and I was overall happy with that. Other than that, my only real complaint with the episode would be the fact that perhaps Grunkle Stan got his memory back too soon. It was a really dramatic moment when it happened, and really sad. Like, the concept of someone losing who they are, especially after seeing them the entire summer and seeing them create all these connections with all these characters, that's really tragic. And I feel perhaps that it's all too fast. Like, if all the emotional parts of this episode, that might have had the least amount of impact just due to the fact it's resolved so quickly. It's almost 2 to 3 minutes after the fact of him losing his memory, but he gets it back. And I know we're on a time limit, but I feel like perhaps they would have been better served by having it happen maybe earlier in the episode. Having him not get his memory back would have been way too sad, in my opinion. That would have been way too sad of a note to end on, and I know this has been a very different kind of kids series, but even for me, that would have been too much. I don't know, I just feel like it was maybe a bit too rushed, and that would be my only major knock against this episode, but yeah, other than that, I really enjoyed it. I had a great time, and it's definitely sad to see this go, but it definitely went out on a high note. This entire Weirdmageddon arc was just wonderfully done. And, yeah, I'll see if I think of anything later, and obviously we'll talk about the series as a whole later on, but for right now, I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
Alright. Next up, we have the wonderful Treebeard. Tell us your story.
Oh, God. Okay. There is something, I think it's Scott that's going to bring it up later, so I won't. I'll kind of tiptoe around it. Oh, God.
You okay, Rick?
Hack up your hairball. There you go. Not on keyboard.
Pleasant.
Okay, so, yeah. Gurvity Furv. Well, we got the meeting back with Stan. It was something. Giant robot fight with Bill. Interesting. Although it's really strange that only in this episode do we really... I mean, we kind of did before, but it's only in this episode that we start exploring the limits of Bill's power. Beyond the fact that, for whatever reason, Gravity Falls has all the weirdness sealed in. The cipher wheel pipe popping up again was interesting. Although it's the really weird part about it is, one thing that kind of popped up in my head is, who the hell are the natives of Gravity Falls? Like, are we talking about, like,
there was, like,
Native
cave painting,
Americans,
so
or just...
It might seem to imply that there was a tribe of Native Americans at some point. It is the Pacific
Okay.
Northwest, so, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's what it would be. Still, it's a little bit weird just how oddly specific the cipher wheel was, but okay. At least and the thing that kind of worked in its favor was that it wasn't the way the conflict was resolved. I thought defeating Bill using the memory wipe gun was a little bit weird. Like, I'm not sure where exactly a dream demon would fall in the memory wipe thing, but I guess this is what Alex Hirsch came up with. It's like, okay, well, it destroys mental entities, so maybe Bill is included. I don't know. Kind of feels like he kind of wrote himself into a corner with how powerful he made Bill. I'm not really sure, but there's a lot of good pathos. There's a lot of great pathos in this episode. You have tensions the tensions between Stan and Ford coming to the fore, to the point that they actually destroy the likelihood of succeeding with the cipher wheel. And Stan getting his memory back. I kind of want to mention the thing about that kind of bothers me is just like, yeah, it felt like it happened too fast, but I also don't feel like it needed to happen. Like, if you really wanted to milk the feels, you could always just make it so, like, his bond with his family goes deeper than him remembering them or knowing them. It goes beyond knowledge, that it's like it's a deeper sort of inborn connection to them. I don't know. I wasn't too fond of Stan just recovering his memory right then and there. I did really like the sentiment between Dipper and Wendy at the end, though. The
hat exchange was really that was the most adorable moment of the episode. Especially after, however, I wouldn't say her romance because I never had a romance, but however character interaction was over the summer, I thought that was just a really touching way to resolve it.
Good crush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. Anything else I want to mention? The Stan War coming up was also really interesting, like getting them to go out and do their thing.
Yeah.
As much as I dislike Stanley getting his memory back that soon, and as much as I don't think it had to happen, it was pretty cool seeing them go off on adventures. That was pretty great. And the implication that there will be a next summer is also pretty great. So, overall, it's a good finale. It's a good end to this series, and this series is over, and I'm glad that it's over because it ended on a high note. I gave this an 8 out of 10.
All right, that's was a 9 and an 8 so far.
Yep.
Then let's move on. Next we have Duster Dawnhorse.
Alright, so I have also sad to see Gravity Falls go. Because it really reminds me of the animation that I had when I was a kid that didn't really hold any punches. And I'm going to talk more about this, but keep this phrase in mind. It didn't treat its audience like idiots. And now to talk about the episode as a whole. I'm also really glad that the Cypher Wheel didn't pan out to be the cure. Like, it could have been. And everyone knew it had some role in that. But it ultimately failed, and I'm glad that it did. Because then you had to get creative. And the preparation for this, I guess I'm going to say battle, also shows how much attention was paid to even episodes that seem like they would be kind of Monster of the Week-ish. The growing and shrinking crystal. I completely forgot that existed.
Yeah. I really like to call back to all the gadgets and all the various, just having the Manitar bear, the multi-bear. That was really well done. Just to show that it all mattered and everything led up to this.
Yeah, in any other series, the multi-bear episode would have been a throwaway episode.
Yeah.
It would have been a gag episode. In this, it wasn't. Every single episode, even if it was sort of a gag of the week type of thing, it mattered. It all came together.
Even the first episode, the gnomes played their part.
The gnomes came back. The fucking golf ball, dude.
Yeah. And they're probably the most forgotten monsters of anything, if you can call them monsters. But yeah.
And the most terrifying. Think about it. It's awful.
Just getting hit around all day.
And it's awful, and it explains so much. I had some ambiguity towards the sheriff's relationship. I pretty much assumed that it was going there, but until you explained that pun...
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so bad, and I want
so
to hate it, but I can't. But going back to some of Treebeard's points, and Greg's points, because I also agree with we never really got to saw Bill's weaknesses, or at least experiment with them, and it wasn't even mentioned that he had a quote-unquote secret weakness. It just seemed to come out of nowhere. And while the solution did seem really good to go with the teaser that someone dies, I will say that I did like that it wasn't a literal death. Because a literal death would have been, wouldn't have extended the feels as long as it did. Because instead of just oh, he's dead, that sucks, you have to look at a living person that you've known almost your entire life, and in Ford's case, related to and grew up with, and know that that person is gone forever, but physically still there, and still walking around and talking. That's more torturous than anything else.
I did feel the strongest image of the entire episode was when Ford's about to shoot him and his hand is just shaking, and you see him wincing away.
Yeah.
That really hit me. The fact that it was
they
resolved
hate each
so
other.
quick.
They can't stand each other.
But they're brothers,
but he still almost chickened out.
Yeah.
And actually, the switch I did not see coming. I did not see that coming at all. But the pivotal point that I guess you're all waiting for me to get to is the recovering memories. I'm kind of on Treebeard's side where I said that could have been avoided. However, I feel like you could have pulled it off if you did Greg's version, which is either make it happen earlier so you have to stretch it out, or make it permanent. I feel like option 3, make it permanent, would have been too much, even for this show. They push a lot of boundaries, but I think that's the one that they won't push.
Yeah, I would have fucking bowled. Seriously, I would have just broke down crying if it ended on that. That would have been
that would have been some Mufasa tier shit right there if they did it. Making it slower, I think, would have been a very happy medium. And the ultimate wrap-up, I will admit, the letter signed from everyone, a tear was shed. There were very strong feels.
And then it was ruined by memes.
And then it was severely ruined by memes.
My bad.
Thanks, fandom. overall, I'm going to talk more about this, and it's going to be way more organized because I actually pre-wrote it. Can't you tell that I actually write something ahead of time? Overall, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 because this ending shows how much everything was carefully thought out from beginning to end, and I want to say even from the beginning, Alex Hirsch planned to have a definitive stop, period, end of sentence, we're done.
Alright. We would go to Scott, but he is having technical issues, so I guess we'll just go to me now. I really adored just about everything in this episode. There were so many feels moments and so many serious moments and creepy moments and funny moments and just everything was everything. And some of my favorite moments were on the creepy end when Bill drinks through his eye. That's
There's actually, I'm sorry, I'm going back. There was actually one part that made me legitimately scream. I can't remember what it was.
Did you scream?
What would
Was it
make
the couch made out of flesh?
No, that was funny. Oh, fuck, what was it? It will come to me, and I also have to note I forgot this on my review. If the show that Alex Hirsch is working on Fox is not for the sciencing things and Stan punching things, I'm going to be really upset.
That'd be such a good show.
Okay, what was it about that made me scream?
Was it towards the latter half, or?
I'm gonna find the summary on the wiki, and I'll find what it was, because there was some part that actually made me scream.
Yeah, so, I really loved pretty much everything. I loved the Shack robot fight, just because it gave birth to Tengen Toppa Gravity Login, which is probably my favorite video on the internet right now.
God.
I've watched it probably like 30 times.
Can I just say I really need to get an MP3 of that Gravity Falls guitar cover?
Oh,
Like,
it's
that
so
shit
good.
was great.
That was
I need
that was
that.
really good. But yeah, so it was all really good. All the callbacks were great. One of my favorite things they did with the callbacks was when they're showing Stan the scrapbook and like Mabel's telling him about everything, how she mentions that he gave her the grappling hook on like that first day, and she's used it so often in this series that most people have forgotten that's when she got it. Like, I don't think many people remember, yeah, Stan gave her that on the first day.
I do.
Do you?
Yeah, this Dipper chose the hat and she got the grappling hook.
Okay. And, yeah, there was so much great stuff in this episode. I will say that I'm definitely on the side that thinks Stan shouldn't have got his memory back. Maybe just the barest amounts, but, it really takes away from the impact that he just gets it back. They build it up as this super serious thing that, oh my god, Stan has lost his memory, he doesn't know who any of them are. And then, a minute later, he has all of his memory back. So
it's just too much too fast.
Yeah, I would much rather him have not gotten it back at all. That would have been way more impactful, and it would have made for a lot more depressing of an ending, but it also would have mattered more.
I'm glad we got our happy ending, but I do know what you mean, but yeah.
There's one thing, though, that this finale just fucking lied about, just outright.
Which was?
Childhood crushes do not end that not awkwardly.
I mean, they do when you help fight a god together.
Does that change things?
Okay.
I guess that
Only a
changes
little.
things.
Yeah, but no, like that was super adorable, and the whole party was great. One thing that really confused me about this finale was Pacifica.
She
She
did
was
kind of
like-
revert a tiny bit.
Yeah,
It
she
seemed like.
reverted to being like really antagonistic.
Not
It's
antagonistic,
weird.
just snobby. Like it seemed like in
Yeah,
Northwest
but-
Mansion Noir, but she advanced a lot, and then maybe we thought maybe it was a bit less than we actually thought.
Yeah,
But yeah,
but oh,
I really did
another
like the
really
line that
amazing-
you only have one pony now.
Yeah, that was pretty
That
great.
was really funny.
Oh, and I forgot Cecil Baldwin was in this.
Yeah, it was. But no, I really love the scene at the end of Robbie's parents just really cheerfully pushing zombies back into the ground. Like,
Get the sawed off.
keep the sawed-off shotgun. Okay, hon. I just can't. It's so ridiculous, but I love it. Yeah, so I really adored this whole thing with the exception of the Stan memory thing. But yeah, it was really good. So I'm also gonna give it 9 out of 10. Yeah, that sounds about right. And it seems like Scott's back, so
Yes, I.
give us your thing.
Yes, my thing. All right. Let's see. I want to. I like. I know we looked it up later, but the bus driver is a Twin Peaks reference.
Wait, is it?
Yeah,
that's-
I commented on this the other day. I forgot about this. The bus driver, I knew I recognized his voice. He was Agent Cooper, I think.
Kyle McLaughlin. Let's see
yeah.
what he did. I'm on Agent Dale Cooper on Twin Peaks.
Yeah, he was Agent Cooper. Which I was like, that's a weird choice to make him the bus driver. Like, it's not a weird choice to have a Twin Peaks reference. That makes perfect sense. But to make him the bus driver is really weird, but it's still really cool.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wiki page for Tad Strange, and I forgot that one line. Like, I laughed so hard, I think I choked on something.
The
This
traumatizing line.
experience will forever scar Tad Strange. I'm just going, Cecil Baldwin, you sexy motherfucker.
Anyway, my opinion on the whole memory thing, I'm more in line with TG, where he should not have gotten his memory back, like, at all. But so that's where my vote sits on that. As for the other rest of the episode was great. Bill Demon Pyramid Bill, great. I also like how there's just how the chair is just supported by what's his face. I think it was the mayor of the town, where they just yank him out and everyone's back to normal. Oh yeah, and then the giant robot shack.
Shacktron.
Wait, yeah. Well, I was gonna go for the Megas XLR reference because
Everyone
because
digs
chicks
giant
dig
robots.
chicks dig giant robots. And it's even more amusing. It fits even more because the chick in Megas XLRs are redhead, and they have a redhead on board as well. Just helping with the Shack bot. I'm just calling that the Shack bot now. Oh yeah, also them taking out Bill's eye. It's like, do you know how long it takes to regenerate my eye? And they do that twice to him.
I swear that's a reference to something.
I don't remember.
I don't remember what it is, but I swear that's a reference to something.
Anyway, just all long enough. I'm gonna give the episode an 8 just because of him Stan getting his memory back. That's a 2-point deduction.
Alright.
And I also have to note, I'm sorry, I'm trying to choke back laughter. tally up everything, and then I will tell you what I found. It's pretty fantastic.
Okay.
It was 2 8s and 3 9s, I think.
Yeah. So.
Should be at 8.6.
Yeah, something like that.
Which is funny. This is our lowest rated Gravity Falls episode.
Actually, it's not.
It's pretty close.
I don't think so, but I mean, if we would have reviewed the road trip one, which we passed on because it wasn't really plot relevant, and TG is scared of spiders, that was the more important factor in us not covering it. But I think that would have been lower. Anyways, yeah. But still, we enjoyed it, and saying an 8.6 is low just is a testament to the series as a whole. Just how good it's been. Pretty fantastic. But yes, Duster, what did you find?
Okay, so I found a link on the wiki to an Ask Me Anything that Alex Hirsch did on the Gravity Falls subreddit, and he answered as Bill Cipher.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I am trying so fucking hard not to laugh. Alright, so for the next 60 minutes, he will answer any questions, but anyone who photographs themselves wearing a tinfoil hat will be answered first. I will take offerings in the form of bent forks, defaced dollar bills, or recorded screams. And so he answered one person, who I will read the question and then the answer. And by the way, all the answers are in capital letters. I am not going to yell. What is your biggest weakness? Anything I can exploit. Yes, my weakness is seeing you stick jalapeno peppers in your eyes. It'll hurt me, I promise. What's your evil master plan? How can we stop it? My evil master plan is to personally prevent you from your human goals. The only way to stop me is to stick jalapeno peppers in your eyes. Please don't do it. Do you think I'm Dipper because I'm a totally random stranger? Of course you aren't. We've never met. I've never enjoyed your suffering, and I sure would enjoy watching you put jalapeno peppers in a blender and pouring the resulting concoction directly into your eyes. What did McGucket warn Dipper about? McGucket's scared of you not rubbing peppers all over your eyes. Don't let him live in fear any longer. Why do we have to buy gold? Those peppers don't come cheap.
Oh my god. Hirsch, you bastard.
And the highest rated one, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
The question, are there any demons other than yourself? And if so, are you on good terms with them? They're lucky if they're on good terms with me. How long have you been around? Let's just say those pyramids didn't design themselves. How do dream catchers affect you? They tickle. Are you interested in human pop culture? Just the good stuff, which links to a YouTube video of question mark and the Mysterians 96 Tears. Oh god, what was it? Do you have control over what form you take? Humans are fat, wet bags of meat withering under the oppressive tyranny of time and puppeteered by the arbitrary whims of natural selection. I enjoy putting on human skin the way Jack the Ripper enjoyed wearing clown masks. He asked me not to tell anyone about that, but what has he done for me lately? Why do you choose to bother Dipper and Mabel? To increase your therapy bills. Can you see the future? Oh, wait, I'm sorry. How much can you do in a mindscape? Increase your therapy bills. Why do you bother Dipper and Mabel? I have eyes in many places. I have friends with many faces. I keep the pines in proper places. Don't look now. I untied your laces.
That was a cryptogram at some point,
can
wasn't
you see
it?
the future?
I feel like it was.
What?
I think that was a cryptogram at some point.
Oh, that
Probably.
Yeah, we'll get to cryptograms after this. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to cryptograms after this, but
other thing I was gonna say now.
Oh yes, he did answer a long question about like in Sunday school, so Dipper hasn't been blessed and he was possessed by a demon, like this is gonna be a problem. So Bill Cipher, aka Alex Hirsch, answered to question number 4, all religions are wrong, pleasant dreams.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
Oh my.
Speaking of cryptograms, I just remembered the whole one of the pines dying cryptograms. The fact that Stan lost his memory implied that he would have meant that he did die, and if he stayed that way, it's like that would have meant that Stan Pines did technically die because he lost all his memory.
Yeah, that's
Hey
what we're
nerds who
saying.
watched Warehouse 13, remember the artifact that removes your memory, but you have the second one that puts it back in?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking they would like, hopefully go for, like, something like that.
You mean a reneuralizer?
Pretty much. Like, you'd eventually forget how to breathe.
Yeah, that was
Oh God.
scary. That was
By the way, people who don't watch Warehouse 13, please do it. Anyway, we might as well go to Cryptograms and then to the series as a whole.
yeah, let's go to
Druid alive.
Corner. Druid's probably alive, I assume.
Bird.
Did we erase him from the podcast?
I think
No.
Bill took him on a joyride.
Oh god.
I was about to say, I think Druid took Bill on a joyride.
Oh.
I ship it.
Anyways, it's time for Cryptogram Corner.
The
Oh,
last
look,
Again,
Hey.
it's the last Cryptogram Corner. Really depresses me. Like,
Is it spelled with 2 Ks?
no, it's spelled with 2 C's because thank God Greg spelled it with 2 C's. But
Oh my god, that was such a missed opportunity. I hate you all.
Oh, you want me to do it now? We still have an
no,
episode.
God
Yes!
damn it.
Okay.
The last one, do it!
Doing it.
No, like, I don't know if I mentioned this in the first mystery cast we did, but the reason I wanted to include Cryptogram Corner in the podcast is because when I was in high school, I had this huge cryptography, like,
Boner.
yeah, pretty much. I was
Sure.
just super into cryptography. Like, me and my friends started a cryptography, like, group at the school where we would, like, someone each week would create a cipher and a cryptogram, and we'd have the week to solve it. Like, that's how big of a nerd I am. And, like, for the past few years since I got out of high school, I haven't really done anything with that. So this show got me back into cryptography, and I love it. Like, it's so much fun.
I'm judging you so hard, you have no idea.
Listen, you're a nerd too.
I know, but cryptography, dude, even I would shove you in a locker and I would just Pokemon.
Wow, TG,
Just
you're
imagining
being
Duster
you're
shoving
being
TG
cold.
into a locker. That would be quite an image.
Wow,
You're being judged by...
TG, you're being judged by someone who has a wall of ponies.
You're being judged by a furry, keep that in mind.
Yeah. Anyways,
I don't think that's a mark of shame so much as a mark of you have no sense of place.
You don't belong
Oh, shit,
anywhere.
why?
Duster, you don't belong anywhere.
Anyways, so I guess I'll just go through them basically in order. The first one was at the halfway point of the episode. It was one of the pages from the journal. And it said, 10 symbols placed around a wheel, hand in hand they'll bond the seal, but break the chain and pay the cost, the prophecy will all be lost. So, just calling out the fact that the two grunkles kind of fucked up their plan.
They grunked it up.
Yeah, they grunked it up hard.
Fucked it up.
Then, the next one was the one during the credits, at the end of the credits, I should say, which just said, "Goodbye, Gravity Falls." A callback to the very first cryptogram, which was, "Welcome to Gravity Falls." So just tying that up nicely. That one's also interesting because the key to that one was in Bill's backwards speech. He spells out the word axolotl, which is a lizard, which...
The coolest lizard.
it's the
Actually, it's also
goofiest
not a
lizard.
lizard, it's an amphibian. It's a salamander.
Whatever.
It is.
Fucking-
And it's cute.
It is
I don't
cute.
give a shit about
But
the difference
I love
between
the
lizard
gills.
and amphibian. Why do you think I care
I'm a
about that
biologist. If I
difference?
don't correct you, what am I? Okay?
I'm just an animal nerd. Shut up.
Okay, it's an amphibian. It's
Thank
the
Thank
you.
you.
amphibian. But the reason that was chosen is because back when Alex Hirsch did his AMA as himself, not the one as Bill Cipher, yeah, anytime anyone would ask a question where the answer was a spoiler for the series, he would respond with the, I think he called it the spoiler axolotl? No, I don't think that's what it was, but he responded with a picture of an axolotl. So that's why that was chosen as the key for this cryptogram, because Alex Hirsch is a weirdo.
He's a lovely weirdo, and we actually never talked about that in our episode recap. But when you reverse Bill's speech, he says, "What's the exact wording? I could sum it up, but
Let me.
yeah, let's get the exact reading of it. I don't want to butcher it."
You know what? So Alex Hirsch is moving on to greater things. He's been booked on something on Fox, and all I have to ask is how long until it gets so good that Fox has to cancel it?
I'm sorry, is this making Family Guy and Simpsons look bad? You're gonna have to go out, Hirsch.
It's okay. when Alex Hirsch's show gets canceled on Fox, Adult Swim will pick it up because that's where all the canceled Fox shows go.
No, Netflix is where they all go.
Oh god. Anyways, yeah. So in Bill's backward speech, he spells Axolotl. And then he says, "My time has come to burn. I invoke the ancient power that I may return."
There you go.
Mission accomplished.
The door is open for a return.
Yeah.
Guess we'll see.
So then, the next cryptogram was the final page of the journal, which said, "Faded pictures bleached by sun, the tales told, the summer's done. In memories the pines still play on a sunny summer's day." Just a nice, happy way to end all of these cryptograms.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not our last cryptogram. Because
it's not.
I actually saw this one. I saw this when I watched the episode, and I don't understand how anyone found the key for it. It must have been brute force. That's all I can think of. Because I see no other way for them to have found this key, but there was a cryptogram on the bus seat when Dipper and Mabel are on their bus leaving, and it's only there for like a second, and the key for it is the first part of the phrase, and the actual cryptogram is the second. And when you read it, it says, "Hidden deep within the woods, a buried treasure waits. Secrets lost and statues found beyond the rusty gates." And
which it's actually a good segue, because if you noticed at the end, there was an actual statue of Bill Cipher.
Yeah, exactly. So what everyone assumes this means, and it's pretty certain this is what it means, is that there is that statue in real life, hidden somewhere, and this is the first clue to find it. What people think is that there was this Google Maps image that had Gravity Falls labeled on it, and people were assuming that's where the statue was when this came out. And people have gone down there, and the people who own that property don't want people there, like, wandering around looking for this shit. So, I think we can assume it's not there.
And also to anyone who is listening to this and thinking of going there, please don't.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure they've been flooded by fans, and they're just pissed at this point. Like, leave them alone.
Yeah, exactly. And, that also makes it seem like it's not in the Oregon Vortex, which, if you're unaware, is the general area that Gravity Falls is basically inspired by, because it's a place in Oregon that's a huge tourist trap and also full of really weird shit.
And you would assume that this is Disney, which Disney has more money than God, so if they were going to set this up, it would be open to the public. It wouldn't be on someone's private property.
Yeah, exactly. And the other idea for where it might be, which is also private property, so it's almost assuredly not there, is this place called the Temple of Oculus Anubis, I believe is the name.
It's fucking scary.
It's a really terrifying place.
Yeah.
I linked this in the chat the other day.
And I didn't look at it, so enlighten me.
It's this weird place which fits the description pretty perfectly. There's rusty gates, it's in the woods. It's really creepy and appropriate for Gravity Falls, but there are, like, huge statues of Anubis. There are other weird statues. People who have been in the area, like,
it is an actual
really creepy
cult.
vibes and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's really weird. It's a
So it's-
weird place, and it
So it's
seems
like a
perfect.
haunted. So is it technically one of the haunted places?
I don't
It's
know
not
if
haunted, it's just
haunted, it's just creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said it was private property, so who owns it?
No one knows. Like, that's
Again,
the
a cult.
it seems like actually a cult. So
Has
that's
nobody
not
ever
where
heard of
it's
county
located.
records? Like,
like I don't
those are
know.
public.
It's weird. It's really weird, but yeah, so it seems like the perfect place for it to be, but again, it's private property. So
Don't
it's
go
probably
looking
not,
there.
and don't
It
go
won't
looking
end well.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
don't.
unless you want to be attacked by a bunch of cultists.
Yeah, and the other idea, the other comment someone made on the subreddit that I kind of agree with is, this is Disney, and I can't really see Disney doing something like this on property they don't own.
Or at least property that wouldn't be publicly accessible.
Yeah, like, as lame as it would be for it to just be in Disneyland,
It's probably the
that's
most likely
really the
answer.
most likely answer.
Yeah.
Most likely answer is that
I'm actually going to say it's not the most likely answer, because while Gravity Falls is kind of a cult hit within Disney, financially it's not a big enough deal to put that much effort into
But it's
it.
not like they already had the statue made. Like it exists. Like it would be more effort to get the rights to put it somewhere they don't own than to just put
Yeah.
it.
We
in,
could have like a
back
scavenger hunt
corner.
at Disneyland
Yeah.
or something and turn it
Yeah.
into an event.
So it's interesting. We'll come out about this as time goes on.
Sorry, I'm getting overrun by
I
dogs.
think it'd probably be buried somewhere in Disney World, not Disneyland.
It would-
Because Disney World's a far larger place to search.
That's true, but also Disneyland is a lot closer to Oregon.
Hold on,
I'm sorry, dogs.
let's take a brief pause.
Yeah.
just so the audience knows, Duster lives in a house with many dogs. So-
Yeah, I'm staying with my parents for now, and
Yeah.
there are 4 dogs in this household. One of them is
Yeah.
mine. Which, if you have watched our
Spawn.
react, you know what he looks like.
He's the cutest.
But
He is puppy waddles. Yawn.
Anyway, let's.
Alright, yeah.
Well, we have to get Wilbur out.
So it seems like, or there will definitely be more information about this before long. Alex Hirsch wouldn't just let it go, especially if people are intruding on private property. He'd want to set it straight right away.
Yeah.
So in the near future, there will certainly be more information about this. And
Just don't go looking for it right now. It's probably the best way to go about it because
unless
really don't know
you're gonna go
anything.
look for it, unless you're going to go looking for it in Disneyland,
Yeah.
and also
Well, don't
in the
go-
places in Disneyland that are publicly
yes, thank
accessible.
you. Thank you for stating that.
Yeah,
It's publicly accessible for like $100, but hey,
yeah,
Yeah.
but don't go into staff only
Yeah,
areas,
fenced off,
climb
Jesus,
over
no.
fences. If you're gonna go look in the parts of Disneyland you're allowed to look in.
yeah, I've heard horror stories from my mom who used to work at Disneyland. Don't enter the mascot break room. 1, it fucking reeks, and 2, they're
love
not
that.
happy to be there.
Yeah,
It's not going to end well.
Yeah, so that
So now that we've told people to do things they won't actually listen to,
yeah,
We tried.
That's the end of Cryptogram Corner forever.
Oh, no.
Well, the overall, let's have a parting note, which I guess is overall series, but just
Yeah.
a parting note because my throat's going out.
Mhm. Alright, TG.
Yeah, I guess my final note is that cryptography is cool.
Really?
It's not actually cool. It's not actually cool. It's really nerdy.
This is what you're saying about this series, Rob?
No, I'm saying this to end Cryptogram Corner before we move into the series as a whole.
Okay.
So, just you can do cool things with cryptography. You could get a nice cushy government job with cryptography.
That is true.
Like the FBI and the NSA, and probably also the CIA, all all
If you're
use
good enough.
cryptographers if
Yeah.
you're really good. So, you know, if this show got you that interested in cracking codes, maybe you'll get a nice cushy government job someday. So, yeah, that's my word on Cryptography Corner. So now, the series as a whole,